Recent years have witnessed far too many egregious atrocities based on religion or belief, repeatedly perpetrated against vulnerable communities and even endangering their very existence. 2014 ushered in a new wave of truly shocking mass beheadings of so-called infidels. People were thrown from high buildings, prisoners burnt in metal cages, women raped, and homes looted. These atrocities then intensified in their number and in their scope. On the 3rd of August 2014, Daesh attacked Sinjar, killing thousands of Yazidis, abducting thousands of women and girls, and forcing the rest to flee. The horror and continuing consequences of what they endured was again brought home to me when, a few months ago, I visited northern Iraq. The ferocious attacks on the Yazidis was followed by subsequent mass atrocities in the Nineveh plains, where Christians were forced to flee or die. Daesh was responsible for murder, enslavement, deportation, the forcible transfer of populations of women and children, forced marriage, and enforced disappearances. In a continuation of this gruesome danse macabre, these depredations have been followed by similar atrocities perpetrated by the Burmese military against the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar, atrocities that have resulted in over 700,000 people fleeing to Bangladesh, thousands killed or injured. Those atrocities are being investigated by the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice. Now we hear unfolding reports of arbitrary detention of over 1 million Uyghur Muslims in China, killings in detention, torture and inhumane treatment of detainees, the forced separation of children from their parents, forced sterilization, forced labor, forced organ harvesting, enforced disappearances, and much more besides. And let's not forget the neglected and ignored mass atrocities in Nigeria at the hands of Boko Haram and Fulani militia. Why do these black African lives matter so little to commentators and policymakers, despite more and more evidence coming to light every day of the severity and the scope of these shocking atrocities? In all these cases, religious minorities are targeted because of their religion or belief. In every sense, all these atrocities perpetrated against religious minorities are crimes against humanity and even genocide, but to date, the United Kingdom government has signally failed to name these crimes for what they are and to take the actions laid upon them as a signatory to international conventions and law. Atrocities based on religion or belief happen in other parts of the world too, and often out of sight and out of mind. Take, for example, the 2014 United Nations Commission of Inquiry, which concluded that Christians in North Korea have been singled out for especially brutal treatment, and that this is, and these are the Commission's own words, a state that does not have any parallel in the contemporary world. The Commission said that the regime considers the spread of Christianity a particularly severe threat, and that what is happening resembles, their words, the horrors of camps that totalitarian states established during the 20th century. It concludes that no official or institution is held accountable because impunity reigns. That UN report said that there should be a referral to the International Criminal Court. 5 years later, though, fear of vetoes has meant that nothing has happened. We need to do more to ensure that we address all acts of violence based on religion or belief. This means investigating such acts. This means prosecuting the perpetrators. Further, this also means working to ensure that similar atrocities are prevented in the future. Over recent years, we have arguably witnessed 4 cases which meet the technical test of what constitutes a genocide, and most certainly crimes against humanity. We should know by now that we cannot continue this way. A change is undoubtedly needed in how we address such atrocities.